We are so delighted to welcome Miss Mitsuki Togiya.
Hi everyone, thank you so much first of all for having me, and I'm so happy to share my experience. My name is Mitsuki Togiya.
Thank you so much. Then could you please introduce yourself?
Okay, sure. So I was born and raised in Japan. I currently live in Hawaii State in the United States, and I am a registered nurse in Japan, and also I am a registered nurse in Hawaii State. And I am also the founder of Bilai Medical Professionals, which is the company I built. And I'm currently practicing my nursing in Hawaii State.
Thank you so much for your introduction. Then based on your experience, why do you think it is important for nurses to work abroad and to challenge going outside of the home country?
Okay, so first, a little bit about my story. I that was like I said, I was born and raised in Japan, and I've never been outside of country until I was 19. That was my second year of being a university student, and I went to UK, and that experience influenced so much. And I think first of all, I was not really able to communicate with others because my English. And that was quite a shocking for me because it never happened in Japan. And after I came back from UK, I started having this dream to work or have a career in the global settings. And but I have no idea how, or I have no idea what I can do. But I just keep holding the dream, and I started working as a gynecology. I graduated the university. I started working as a gynecology nurse in Japan, and I heard this opportunity. I met my partner, and I had this opportunity to move to United States, and that's the time I really started thinking about my next career and finally get a hands on to my dream. And after, I used this way to endorse my Japanese nursing license to the state, and this journey was really hard. I faced a lot of barriers, like of course English and my money problem, my visa problem, my culture difference, and but also I met a lot of foreigner nurses who are working and building their own career in the States, and also a lot of Japanese nurses actually and medical professionals. They are working in other countries and building their own career. And I think having the concept of being global, I think it's sometimes it's so hard to get that concept. And I think the concept is more like being in different culture, and but still trying to understand them, and still we have some like culture difference and diversity in Japan, but still I think the country as itself, it's still a lot of us are Japanese, and it's so hard to have this culture difference. So I think having this being the diversity, the sense of like being diversity is, I think it's very important for medical professionals, because I think each patient, each of my clients, they have a different perfect perspectives and different backgrounds. So I think that being an international nurse, I think we have those concepts. So I think we can care more. I think we could deliver more personal care or individualized care, I believe. And I think being an immigrant, we face a lot of barriers too. So being in a like side of in a kind of weak position, I think that will help us to be more compassionate and care for others too.
Thank you so much for sharing your rich experience on
Thank
working as
you.
an international nurse. Then I'm curious to know, could you tell me a little more about the organization that you
Mhm.
launched to
Yeah,
support
okay.
nurses? Yeah.
Okay, so this is called Be Light Medical Professionals LLC. It's based on Hawaii because I live in Hawaii. But I started this company with two other Japanese nurses. So, one Japanese nurse, she lives in currently in Okinawa, and she's a registered nurse in Japan, and she's trying to be a registered nurse in the States. And the other one, her name is Miki, and she's a web designer, and she is currently in Canada, and she's also trying to find a way to work in the global settings and I'm not sure she's going to be a nurse in Canada, but she's trying to find a way to still she can connect with the medical fields and do something for them. And so our mission as a company is to help and support the medical professional, especially Japanese medical professionals for now, to achieve their goals to have our own career in the global setting. It doesn't matter in Japan because we have some like clients and we have some person who wanted to be an interpreter in Japan. I think that's also like working as an international settings. And so still, even though if we have a lot of information and it's still hard to get a local information, and still I think not so many people don't know the options they have. Like me, I didn't know I could be a nurse in the States, and but I realized the opportunity and I tried. So what we're trying to do is to like present the options that we have in around the world. And also we're trying to build up this community so we can help the nurses and medical professionals can help each other so we can achieve their own goals and or like just started their journey and keep their journey to work in the global settings.
Wow, that's so amazing. What made you passionate about like establishing that company with your colleagues?
Oh, okay, that's a good question. So first, I decided to be a nurse in the States. I heard this one person who is a Japanese nurse. I believe she is practicing as a nurse practitioner in the state. And she helped me. She gave me all the information that I need to do to, be the nurse in the States. But still, so even though she told me a lot, but still I need to figure out a lot of things, and I face a lot of so like I said, being an international nurse, we face a lot of barriers. But I believe that I most like challenge I had was I could not believe myself that I could achieve. I never believe myself, and I constantly asking myself like, am I ever gonna be a nurse in the States again, or I am gonna be enough to provide a good care for my patients with having all the barriers now. And so and I felt so alone because not so many people do that. Not so many people will challenge to do that. At the time, I didn't know that so many people are doing. And so I started writing about it in my, like I started blogging, and I started expressing how I feel and what I went through to get this nursing license in the States. And then I get a lot of comments, and I started noticing those people, those Japanese professionals, then try to do like the same thing as me. So, and I felt like if we can share all the information together and if we could support each other, then I think it would be much more like comfortable and much more like we don't have to get so like down. And so I think having a community and having a people who share the same goal is very important, because those people's gonna help you when you feel like you're not gonna ever make it. So that's just like why I started this company.
Wow, thanks for sharing. Like as I was hearing your talk, like I felt like it's so powerful that you created the community to support each
Mm-hmm.
other so that like international nurses
Yeah.
will feel like lonely.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
Then from your perspective, what are the most important competencies for international nurses to work in a different country?
So I think self-leading and also the community is the most important facts, I think, being international nurse. Because I think so this journey, it's gonna be long, and you're gonna face a lot of barriers, and you feel like you're by yourself, and you sometimes wonder why you're doing this with all the difficulties. But I think I want like going through this journey for myself, and I started learning about much more about me and being the best leader for myself. I need a lot of encouragement, and I think that sometimes other people can give me encouragement, but I think I needed to be the one who can encourage myself and keep like having me to focus on how much I progressed, not how much ahead of me. And I think those having, to being able to lead myself, and then I think you can start lead others too. So I think I used to think the leadership is for something for managers or who are in a high position who has a lot of fellows. But I think now it's if you're able to lead yourself, and if you can be the best leader for yourself, then you can be the good and great leader for others too.
Thank you. Then one last question. Could you give us a message to nursing students and nurses who will become future leaders?
Okay, so I think one thing that I wanted to say it loud is that I don't want you to be the limit yourself. I used to think like, even though getting out of my home country, I felt like that was impossible. I felt like, oh, my family is gonna say no, my friends say I'm crazy, and like I'm ever so like when I came here to Hawaii State, my English was not good, and I wasn't able to hear what people saying, so it felt like impossible, right? But I'm glad that I didn't just limit and just like, oh no, you cannot do that. Like you are not gonna be able to make it. So I I think people tend to do that, like, oh, you don't have enough money, you don't have it, like you don't have blah blah blah. But I want you to believe that you can do like, anything, and having your like essence of being a nurse, or if you learn about nursing, I think you can work anywhere. And even though like I created my company, like you can create your own company, and or you can create your organization. So I think I believe that nursing has so much potential still, and I think the nursing would um, I think can bring the best of yourself, and so that you can be much more of you. So that's the only thing that I think I wanted to tell.
Thank you so much, Miss Mitsuki.
Thank you, Miyu-san. Thank you so much for having me.